some primary and secondary school learners in Zimbabwe are yet to attend class, almost a week after schools opened, as their respective schools have barred them from attending class owing to the non-payment of fees. Some schools are reportedly not accepting payment in terms of local currency, insisting on United States dollars. This has left some parents stranded and asking what government policy is on these matters. We know authorities in Zimbabwe are considering introducing robotics and coding as a compulsory subject for primary and secondary school students. The aim is to increase capabilities of learners in an increasingly digitized world. We'll give you more.
The Ministry of ICT is working with that of primary and secondary education to ensure students are well equipped technologically. Coding and robotics will be introduced at that level. Previously, such subjects was under extracurricular activity.
And for us to be able to do this, we have realized, together with the Minister of Primary and Secondary Education, that it's important that we introduce robotics and coding at schools. We need to catch these children young so that at least they can appreciate and understand how we can then be able to also achieve a digitalized economy.
Now, the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund has praised Zimbabwe for ensuring that children are protected. This comes after President Mnangagwa criminalized sexual intercourse with anyone below the age of 18 using the Presidential Powers Temporary Measures Act Chapter 10.20 through Statutory Instrument Number 2 of 2024. He raised the age of consent to sexual intercourse to 18 from the age of 16. While the Constitution defines children as those below the age of 18, the Criminal Law Codification and Reform Act, which has since been amended, defined a young child as one that is below the age of 16 years, and this created a gap in the law which exposed children above 16 to sexual exploitation.
UNICEF commends the government of Zimbabwe for the passage of a new legislation that raises the age of consent to 18 years for sexual activities. This legislation has come to complement the amendment to the Marriages Act that prohibits the marriage of anyone less than the age of 18. We as UNICEF see these two legislation as critical legal instruments that will come towards ensuring that our children, especially the adolescent girl, are safe and protected. Together with the government, partners, donors, parents and community, our resolution towards ensuring a safe environment for our children is absolute, and we appreciate the opportunity that we have with this improvement.
The price of bread is up yet again. Traditionally, a loaf of bread retails for $1 or the local currency equivalent. But in some supermarkets, a loaf of bread was priced at between 9,100 Zimbabwean dollars and 12,000 Zimbabwean dollars. At the beginning of the year, retailers increased bread prices to between $1.10 and $1.20, but reverted to the old price a few days later. Denford Mutachu, president of the Confederation of Zimbabwe Retailers, attributed the rise in cost to the fluctuations in the exchange rate, which has depreciated to 8,501 from 6,467 last week on the Paro market. The greenback is back up to fetching 15,000 RTGs. Where Zimbabwe T20 captain Sikandar Raza put on a superb all-round performance of 62 runs and 3 wickets, but it was in vain as Zimbabwe lost to Sri Lanka by 3 wickets on Sunday. More details in the following report.
It was so near yet so far for the Chevrons as they fell to a heart-wrenching last ball defeat to Sri Lanka. Sikandar Raza was in inspired form, knocking 62 runs off 42 balls to take the Chevrons to 143 for 5 in 20 overs. Raza's half-century was his 5th in a row, a first by any player in T20 internationals. Richard Ngarava got the Chevrons' defense off to a flying start, upping up a wicket in his first over, something he has done in his last 5 matches. But it was Raza who impressed once again with figures of 3 for 13 to take Zimbabwe to within reach of a rare victory over Sri Lanka. However, Dusmantha Chamira had the last laugh, hitting 6 of the last 2 balls to hand Sri Lanka the victory.
I am disappointed that as a country we have lost, but I'm not disappointed how well we have tried to defend the target. Certainly really proud of the boys, the courage they showed, the way we fielded, the way they bowled. At the end of the day, you have some of the 2 most experienced cricketers and some of our youngsters came against them. But the good thing is that is the beauty of cricket, that is the beauty for Zimbabwe to play against these big nations, because this experience for Mabunu, this experience for Blessing, for Garava, for Luke, for myself, playing against Angie, some of the senior guys, it will go a long way. It will help us in development of our own game and as a country as well. And when we come in these situations in future, these kids will be able to hold themselves on, and inshallah we'll win inshallah more games than lose.